They don't like you. Period. What's up, babes? It's Curly Victoria. I am back with another video. If you guys are new here, hi, welcome to my channel. And if you've already been subscribed, thanks for coming back. So look, y'all, I just made a video earlier talking about life update, the 20 million things I got going on for about 20 minutes. So if you wanted to hear a ramble on Curly Victoria's life updates, what I'm doing, how I'm about to boss up, etc., where I'm at, etc., you're gonna want to go watch that. But this video in particular, make sure you tap in, subscribe, comment in the comment section below if you are dealing with people who are two-faced. 1 minute they're all about you, and the minute that they not in your face, it's everything against you. This video is for you. So a lot of you may have remembered the video back on Shanquella Robinson, which, rest in peace, Shanquella Robinson. I followed that case religiously. I followed that case as though Shanquella was my birth sister. That's how hard I was following that case. And it broke my heart that this beautiful girl who had so many things going for herself, who had so many blessings that she didn't even know she was about to touch going on in her life. But guess what? Guess what? The people around her, who she surrounded herself with, who she called friends, who you probably swore up and down that these people love me like I love them. These are my homies. These are my friends. Got her to be in an isolated place they went out the country. They went wherever they went to celebrate. I think it was a birthday or just an event. Everybody was celebrating, etc. Only for her never to make it home because she ended up getting killed by those very friends that she, quote unquote, loved and did not see any issues with surrounding herself with. Why? Because you had enemies within your circle that you classified as friends. Everybody say, oh, keep your friends close. No, baby, keep your enemies closer because they're going to reveal themselves in due time. Shanquella, beautiful girl. I literally think that God had so much in store for her, but she was surrounded by haters. She was surrounded by people who just did not want the best for her. Oftentimes we see those things, we ignore the warning signs, we brush it off as, oh, they didn't mean it. A joke disguised in something serious is not a joke, it's something serious. Sometimes we brush off when somebody say, girl, you ugly anyway. I'm just playing, LOL. They'll put a I'm just playing LOL behind anything. But the truth of the matter is, they're really envious of you. They really do think, negatively of you. But they just LOL, hee hee ha ha. When they're with you, everything is okay. When they're with other people, you're the topic of the room and the topic is not great. Birds of the feather gonna flock. So anybody who you no longer want to associate with, you best believe that they sitting in a room that you're not in and you are the topic of discussion at some points. That's not your table anymore. That's not your situation. So you don't have to worry about it. The people who I'm talking to right now are the people who need to open their eyes to what's around them. Who is hanging around you? Who really claps for you when you win? Who really got your back like none other? And who, if they were sitting amongst people who you cut off, is really going to still be standing in the gap for you in your absence? Or are they going to hee hee ha ha to the jokes made about you because you're not in that room? I'm going to be the same person, whether you're in the room or you're not. That's why I always say, you won't ever hear about me saying something when you're not in a room that I won't say to your face. I'm the type of girl where if I said it, I'll say it again and I'll up the volume. So you can understand that I don't need to just say things in a room when you're not there. I can say things when you're here. Some people will bite their words, backtrack. I ain't say that, I ain't mean that. I was just joking. No, I said what I said. What you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it? You don't want to be friends anymore? Cool, great. The friends that I have, the circle that I have, we can literally disagree about anything and we're still going to bounce back and be together as friends because we see that as we're able to talk to each other about anything. And to tell you the truth, I don't have right now, like my group of friends that I've known for a long time who I actually have in my circle, we don't have no falling outs amongst each other. But if we did, we would know how to be like, look, Ryan, like what you said, let's bounce back. I don't have no yes men's around me. Anybody who hangs around me can stand on their own 10. Which means I'm not going to have nobody just stroking my ego and saying what I want to hear. I have people who will put their foot down and say, no, listen, sis, you're wrong about the way you're thinking, or maybe you should think about it this way. And they can communicate those things to me. That don't mean that I'm gonna cut you off just because you step to me like I would step to you. If anything, I respect you more, because you come in 10 toes about whatever you standing on, and you standing on it. You standing on business. But I want you to know that they don't all like you. Do not think as you're evolving, as you're growing, that more genuine people are going to attract themselves to you. You're going to have more people who noticed you. They just didn't notice that you would get as big as you are. They didn't notice that you were going to grow the way that God grew you. So now the person who couldn't stand your guts is now sitting here in your comment section all the time. They're in your likes. They're in your story. You think magically overnight they just decided, she's a good soul, she's a good person, she's doing great? Or do you think that they thought you could not exceed the limitations that were placed on you by them or the rest of society? And when you overcame those stigmas and those situations, it proved them and others wrong. So now, if you can't beat them, you try to join them, right? So watch your surrounding. Watch who you allow into your circle. If you know anything about me, my man always say, you're just like not that social. You're not that like I'm basically not that open to people. Like when it comes to business, I'm on it. I'm that girl. But when it comes to personal, I am it's very difficult for me to be super vulnerable with people because of my life story, things that I've been through. It's a reason as to why I pull back and I'm not as vulnerable to people. There's a reason. There's multiple reasons, but I'm not going to divulge those reasons on this camera. But I'm just saying there's a reason why I pull back. There's a reason. I have discernment. I have discretion. I have a lot of things that I need that tells my spirit is not right. Something's not right. And even if there's nothing wrong with a person, I just have trouble opening up to complete strangers on a beyond a surface level. Like if I see you and the vibes are right and you start talking to me, I know how to not make an atmosphere awkward. I know how to speak to somebody. But when it comes down to me just meeting you within 30 minutes, you're not going to know everything about me. You're not going to know my whole life story. You'll know that I'm in real estate. You'll know that I'm a broker. You'll know that I'm an entrepreneur because, you need a house. You need a rental. You need something. But when it comes down to you actually getting the nitty-gritties of my life, I'm very, very protective of what I've been through, my emotions, my feelings, my etc. So if that makes me more closed off, it makes me more closed off. Like I said, I know how to be around people, but I'm not easily susceptible to being vulnerable to people. And so the people who I know, the people who I love, they've been in my life for a long time, like you know about me, but that's just what it is. And if that makes me not as social, then I guess that makes me not as social. I own it. But that's just who I am. That's who I've always been, and that's who I'm always going to be. So it is what it is. But in the end of the day, you have to understand who's for you and who's not for you, because you will have people every day hitting you up just because they know where God is taking you. But then again, you'll have people who won't hit you up at all, and they'll be watching your every move because they wish that what you were doing and what you have accomplished was them. I tell y'all all the time, never wish for anybody else's circumstances. Never wish for anybody's situation. You might not understand that you don't know what it took for that person to be in that situation, and the grass is not always greener on the other side. If you're in a relationship and your relationship is going through a struggle right now, your relationship is going through a rough patch, don't think just because, oh, that dude over there or that girl over there is saying the right things for me in the moment that I'm going through something with my partner, that I need to go pursue that. Because like I said, the grass is not greener on the other side. So when you are watching who is around you, it's not only just friendships. It's also like, what are your intentions? That's why it's like, when I'm in a relationship, I don't care to what capacity men come at me or men try to talk to me. No, like, I have a man. I'm just respectful. That's just who I am. So just keep those grounds anywhere you go. So watch your surroundings. There could be men or women who surround you because they feel like, oh, I saw them get in an argument, or I heard their little argument, so maybe if I get in her viewpoint, she will maybe try to talk to me because she's mad at her man, or maybe he will try to talk to her, or he will try to talk to another woman because his woman is mad at him, etc., right? Those are also moments in which you need to watch out for. I'm never going to be a tick for tack girl no matter what happens to me, no matter how wrong I can be done, no matter how whatever. I'm not going to ever be the tick for tack girl who says, you hurt me, you acknowledge you hurt me, now I'm about to go do you the same way I did you, and I'm going to be with you to do it. I can't drag you through the mud and be with you like that. You know what I mean? So if you're going to forgive, forgive. I know it's easier said than done, but a lot of times we hold on to things and we don't truly completely forgive. And I've noticed that too in situations, friendships, relationships, whatever. We need to be at a place where when we forgive, we let go. I know there's things in my life that I have continued to try to move forward in my life, but then I always get choked back because I'm like, this really hurt me in my life. This really hurt me in my life, but I never really forgave and let go. I'm not one to want to hold on to things, but at the same time, when it impacts you in certain areas or it makes you act a certain way or become, gives you anxiety or panic or whatever, it's like, okay, sis, maybe you thought you forgave or maybe you thought you moved on, but maybe there's still something lingering that's hurting you. How do we get through that? So it could be in anything. It's not just relationships, it's friendships, it's career-wise, it's anything. Like sometimes, your career changes could be like, did I make the right decision? And you're contemplating back and forth. But both ways, my message to you is they don't like you. I'm not saying that you don't have a lot of people in your life who truly do like you. You probably do. Have a lot of ones who love you, who like you, who whatever. But understand that everybody won't be happy for you. Everybody won't want to see you succeed. The minute you understand that, the minute you can move on with your life and truly understand, hey, everybody's not here for me. Everybody's not here for my good. And this is not to be negative, pessimistic, anything. This is for you to really check in, tap into what you are surrounded by, what you are feeding your mind and your ears with. Are you listening to that motivation? Are you surrounding yourself with people who want the best for themselves and for you? What are you surrounding yourself with? Then make it make sense. I believe Shanquella Robinson really believed she was surrounded by good people. Maybe she had her doubts on some days, but maybe those doubts weren't big enough to make her walk away. I really wish that we could have seen where this young woman's life would have gone, but we didn't get the opportunity to because her joy was stolen too early from the world, from haters. From haters. So realize when they don't like you, or when the functions come up, the birthday parties come up, you're off the guest list. And then when you mention it or you bring it up, now it's like, I forgot you lived in the state. Oh, I forgot, that was your phone number. I forgot. I thought that I let you know. Those are all just lies. You don't belong in them circles. You don't belong around them people. So at the end of the day, remove yourself. You don't have to have beef to remove yourself from situations and from places. You know what I mean? You don't have to go on the internet and name drop, name bomb, be childish. You just block and move on. If people are surrounding themselves, like I'm never going to be in a friend group where I decide I don't want to be friends with people and then I tell my friends, you should stop being friends with them too. No, if you want to be friends with them, be friends with them. But a lot of times people don't see how a person will cross them until it's their turn. I literally just had this conversation a few weeks ago with a group of people that I know. And it's crazy that I was disrespected and lots of people seen the disrespect. I'm not going to rehash the situation. A lot of people saw the disrespect from a person and everyone was like, why? Why are they being disrespectful to you? Like, why would they even do that to you? Why would da-da-da? We don't know. I don't know what was in that person's cereal, but I was disrespected, right? I knew that. I walked away because my self-respect is greater than someone thinking that they're going to disrespect me, right? Long story short, this individual, and I had just said something about if they can disrespect me, watch when it's everybody else's turn, right? This individual disrespects so many people, and a lot of people I know have walked away from this person, all within 2 weeks. About 5 people. When I tell you, walk away, because they don't all like you. You think I'm gonna keep coming around a person? If a snake bit me, do you think I'm gonna keep hanging out with that pet snake every day? Or do you think I'm going to surround myself with that pet snake and think that that snake going to have my best interest? No, that snake probably want me for dinner. You feel me? He probably wants to, you know, wrap himself around me and suffocate me. He probably wants to be a whole python who just sucks the life out of me, right? That snake has not got my best interest. That snake now bit me before. So what, I need to get bitten into the poison that's spread in my body and I'm no longer alive? Use that analogy for the situations you see in your life. You got that friend for you who don't clap for you when you win? Why? You know what I mean? You got that person who's gatekeeping? Why? You got a person who knows that a person crossed you and then they go become friends with that person? Why? Because they don't like you. And sometimes they don't like you because they working for the devil, baby. They working overtime. But when you're God's chosen angel, you're God's chosen one, can't nobody destroy what God has created. Whatever is sent to destroy, like, you're going to have a lot of things sent to destroy you. That don't mean it's going to work. With the armor and the shield of God, that don't mean it's going through. The bullets might be flying out the weapons, but they're not piercing. They're ricocheting off. Because I'm protected in the full armor. I'm chosen. I'm chosen. When you are chosen, you walk with a different anointing. You can literally walk away from God. You can literally do a lot of things. And again, I tell y'all, I don't like to talk religion a lot on my channel because I don't want to sway people either way direction. I'm not trying to knock you for believing what you believe. I'm not trying to make you believe what I believe. But it's hard for me to ever have real deep talks and connections and whatever without referencing God. If you knew my story and you knew how much I've been through in my life, you would understand that I had to have encountered God myself to really believe the way I believe. So I'm going to mention him in everything. I'm going to mention God in everything. But it's like, I'm anointed. When you're anointed, you got that anointing covering you. When you are chosen and God is covering you, there's nothing like it. Sometimes my own circumstances bring me to tears because God really kept me here. When I could have been dead, my siblings and I could have been dead, God kept us. You know what I mean? God kept us. God kept us. God kept us. And when I think about, you know, you kind of think like, why my mama had to go? Why did we have to, like, and I'm not going to say we, I'm going to speak on me. Lord, why did you take my mom and not take me? And then I started to think about, it was her time. She had to go. And it was time for God to start working in me to create a greater work, to create a better, you know, whatever. So when you get in that moment where you're like, God, why am I still here? Why didn't you take me? Why did you leave me? Why couldn't we change places? I feel like God is saying because you are chosen for a specific purpose that I need you to complete before your mission is done on this earth. So instead of saying, Lord, why didn't you take me? It becomes, what do you want from me, Lord? What would you like for me to do? How can you help me to really conquer what you set out for my life? How can I achieve the goals that you asked for me? How can I become better, God? What is it that you want from me, and how can I please you in the purpose and the mission that you have for myself? Please open my eyes to what doesn't need to be around me. Please open my eyes to when people, friends are around me that aren't really my friends. Show me signs. Reveal it. Make it plain. Make it plain. That's it. Just make it plain. And oftentimes, God makes it plain. It's up to you to actually, like, fall in line with whatever, you know, is going on. So, I'm super grateful for that. I didn't mean for the end of the video to kind of get a little tapped into your feelings, tapped into your emotions, but I just wanted to say, ask God to make it plain. Whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, whatever higher supreme being you believe in, or maybe just the universe is what you believe in. Ask for it to be revealed, who you need to cut off. Ask for it to be made plain, what you need to see. And understand, everybody won't like you, baby. But it's not for you to worry about that. The people who gravitate to you, the people who enjoy your content, the people who know you in real life, the people who bring the good out of you, those are the people who you need to focus on giving your energy to. Those are the people who are going to build your brand. Those are the people who are going to lift your spirit. Those are the people who are going to support you when the people you know in person are not supportive. The internet or the people who you've built your content and channels with will support you, will send prayers, will send congratulations, and that's how you stay afloat. Don't worry about who can't. Worry about who can and will and have done. And that's when you're going to really, really be able to tap into what it is that God has for you. Tap into anything that's meant for you. Because what God has for you, can't no man destroy, can't no man take that away. It don't matter how many people are on the same path as you, or you feel like a market is saturated. It isn't saturated. It's not saturated because it doesn't have you. And when it does have you, God will continue to move you in directions by leaps and bounds, because that is what He's called you to do. If you're within your calling, it'll work itself out. No matter how many people within the same industry, same field, same whatever. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope this video was helpful to somebody.